From remote, frozen shores and soaring mountain peaks to Scandinavian architecture, esoteric music festivals, and nautical history, planning a Norway trip can be a big task. But Norwegians love nature, and they're never far away from it. So even if you're only there for a short city break, there's plenty of adventure to be found. We've rounded up 12 of the best places to visit in Norway to help you find. Number 12. Stavanger. The port city on Norway's southwest coast is surrounded by mountains, including Pulpit Rock and beaches. Take a wander around the historic Old Stavanger to explore lots of little museums where you can learn about things like Viking history, as well 18th and 19th century wooden houses. The port is beautiful and comes into its own in the summer months. There is lots of street art to appreciate too. And it even has its own dedicated street art festival called New Art, which takes place in later summer. Stavanger is also a gateway to more mountain hikes and natural wonders like Sverdøyfjell and Kjerbolten. Number 11. The Atlantic Road. Without a doubt, one of the most picturesque drives in the world. A 5-mile-long stretch that winds and weaves its way over the Atlantic Ocean, connecting the island of Averøy with the mainland at Eid. The Atlantic Road, or Atlanterhavsveien as it's also known, was initially going to be a railway line, but was completed as a road and opened in 1989. It's a little out of the way of the usual tourist spots, but is well worth a detour for the spectacular views alone. Number 10. Jotunheimen National Park. Exploring the great outdoors is part of any trip to Norway, but there's a whole lot of nature to explore in the home of the giants in the east. Jotunheimen is the most famous of Norway's national parks and home to over 250 mountains, including the tallest Galdhøpiggen, the highest in Northern Europe. It's a haven for hikers, with tens of thousands of people coming to Vesseggen Ridge each year, including famous Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen, who wrote about it in his play Peer Gynt. There are many more hiking trails to take on too, as well as plenty of places to camp, either wild camping or rest up in a cozy wooden hut or cabin. But it's not just a great place to hike. People visit Jotunheimen to see glaciers, beautiful lakes, cycling routes, rafting, and horse riding. Number 9. Trondheim. Norway's third largest city is another great place to explore by bike. And like other Norwegian cities, nature is on its doorstep. Start with a cycle around Bakklandet, the city's old quarter, which has paved sections for bikes, so it's easier to navigate the cobbled streets and enjoy the colorful wooden buildings, and even a lift to take you up to a viewpoint. Then back down again to check out the local food scene, including Mat fra Hagen Vegan Restaurant. Trondheim is also home to International Music Conference Trondheim Calling, which is like a Nordic South by Southwest, which is on in the winter. To get away from the city, visit nearby Monk's Island for some solitude and reflection, or explore the islets at Trondheimsfjord. Number 8. Ålesund. The small west coast city is the gateway to exploring Norway's vast fjords and mountain landscapes. Take a wander through Ålesund's downtown Art Nouveau district to explore colorful buildings. Then head over to the Fjellstua viewpoint to take in the surrounding scenery. If it's raining, you can take shelter by crate digging at one of the city's record shops like Siri Antivariate and Jukebox, and warm up with a bowl of local fish soup. As well as its proximity to famous fjords like the spectacular Geirangerfjord, People come to Ålesund for outdoor activities like hiking and alpine skiing, cross-country skiing, and a bit of fishing too. Take a short trip out of the city to visit Alnes Lighthouse, or do a challenging mountain hike up Slogan. Number 7. Oslo. Although it's Norway's natural wonder that captivates travelers, its capital city Oslo has a good mix of urban life and nature to satisfy the need to explore. It was named European Green City 2019 thanks to its dedication to conservation and reducing pollution. Oslo is a pretty compact city, so you can easily stroll around or hop on a bike to its blend of new and old Scandinavian architecture. Many of its central areas are traffic-free these days, so walking and cycling is a more relaxed experience than in other European cities. Stop off at Fram Museum to take a deep dive into the city's rich history, including the Fram, the first ship built in Norway for polar research and used on an Arctic expedition by Fridtjof Nansen. Oslo is nestled between the Oslofjord Inlet and the lush greenery of the Oslomarka Forest, so you can take a short metro ride for a big dose of nature, which according to Norwegians is the best medicine. Number 6. Sognefjord. Known as the King of the Fjords, Sognefjord on the west coast is the longest and deepest fjord in Norway. It was formed in the last ice age, which created the high mountain peaks and deep valleys that make up its landscape. Visitors come to get up close to nature, to explore the different fjords that branch off Sognefjord, as well as verdant valleys, mountain ranges, and glaciers. For some of the best views, hop on the Flam Railway. For a twisty ride through the mountains and sweeping views over the peaks, valleys, and waterfalls. Grab a window seat for one of the most memorable train journeys in the world. Number 5. Geirangerfjord. Norway's most popular and loved fjord. Geirangerfjord is 260 meters deep with the surrounding mountains towering overhead at up to 1,700 meters tall. This contrast makes for some epic waterfalls, including the Seven Sisters Falls. There are abandoned farms dotted around the lower edges and sustainable settlements, including the quaint village of Geiranger with just 250 inhabitants. Number 4. Lofoten Islands. A true gem in the Norwegian crown, Lofoten is home to a group of islands on the northwest coast of Norway, as well as impressive mountains, deep fjords, and no shortage of wildlife, including some big colonies for migrating birds. Situated in the Arctic Circle, there's a good chance of seeing the northern lights from here in winter. But it's not as cold as you might imagine thanks to the warming Gulf Stream. It's worth taking a bit of time to properly explore the Lofotens and the surrounding area, like Trollfjord. The narrow fjord, it's actually situated between Lofoten and the Vestfalen archipelago and is surrounded by rugged mountain peaks that are particularly stunning in the winter. If you look up towards the spiky peaks, you might even catch sight of the white-tailed sea eagle flying overhead. Lofoten is also a great spot for fishing, including the picturesque village Rain Lined, where fishermen's huts line the shore. But visitors come for a combination of beautiful scenery and outdoor activities. It has some of the Lofoten Islands' best hiking trails, including Rianbringen, and it's also a great destination for cycling, kayaking, and skiing. The archipelago is also home Nussfjord, another historic fishing village with colorful buildings and spectacular mountain views. Number 3. Bergen. Norway is renowned for its fjords. The Western Fjords are a UNESCO World Heritage Site and as such is a protected area, but it welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. Most start their journey in the city of Bergen, the gateway to the fjords. A fjord is a sea-drowned valley carved out by glaciers moving and leading to sheer cliffs, thunderous waterfalls, and calm turquoise bodies of water to sail through. Number 2. Tromsø, one of the largest northern cities on mainland Norway. Tromsø is situated within the Arctic Circle and the Northern Lights Oval, making it a prime location to witness this majestic natural phenomenon. The aurora borealis, as they're also known, cast incredible colorful patterns over the night sky and are particularly prominent in the winter months. Tromsø itself has some great museums, restaurants, and events. Number 1. Svalbard. Situated in the Arctic Circle, Svalbard is a haven for rare wildlife and has miles and miles of pristine wilderness to marvel at. Despite its remote feel, it's relatively accessible as the largest settlement of Longyearbyen is home to the most northerly commercial airport in the world. The landscape changes from huge, domineering glaciers and mountains to snow-covered plains and sheltered coastal coves. Wildlife you can expect to see there includes polar bears, walruses, beluga whales, and an array of bird life, including puffins and Arctic skuas.